Hello everybody, Miss Jackie Russell here, and welcome to the the April makeup looks. Guys, this is a look that I did the other day using the brand new Prime Prometics color changing foundation. This is white, and when you put it on, it's white, see? And when you put it on, I'll just go ahead and add some. I can't look into the computer. I'm going to mark myself up. And they sent a brush too. So I'm using a foundation brush, but when you put it on, as you can see, it changes into my color. And this is my face color. It is lighter than the rest of me, because I always wear sunscreen, and so it's not going to get as dark. And I didn't put on any bronzing drops or anything, which could have maybe darkened my skin up a little bit. But anyways, that's what I use for my foundation to get this look. And it finishes and lasts over 12 hours. I think it lasts longer than that, but anyways, that's what they guarantee is 12 hours. But this is Vicky, and my channel's Miss Jackie Russell, and I'm here to show you this look with this eye palette, which is the Natasha Denona Rose and Wood palette. And this just puts such a pretty look. I will tell you that I kind of messed up on this side over here. It was really black. I mean, like black coming down all the way to here. And whoops, I'm on the wrong side. It's opposite in the computer. And it was really bad, and I had to correct it. And I didn't know how to correct it. I know a lot of you say use your concealer and correct it that way. To me, that just smears it. So I got the bright idea. Before I get on with this, I must tell you that this is going to be a collage of looks for April, and it'll go from the next to the next to the next. It'll just be different looks that I put together. I debated whether or not to even do it for April, but so many of you do seem to like it, even though maybe a lot of my looks are similar. But I am trying to use different palettes and try to bring you tips. And this is going to be one of those tips. So while I'm also thinking about it, if you haven't subscribed, be sure and hit that subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hit the like. And please, everyone, hit the like. If you do that right off the bat, it helps our algorithm so much. And I so appreciate each and every one of you. I love you. You're like part of my family. Now, how did I correct this? Well, Prime Prometics has this Prime Skin Water. This has hyaluronic acid in it too, so you're nourishing your skin. It's very gentle, and it removes eye makeup. It'll actually remove all your makeup, but I mostly use it for my eyes. But I got the bright idea to dab this. You know, you press this down and some of it comes up. And I dabbed that on this side of my eye because I didn't want to look like I had a black eye. Sometimes you come down too far and you don't, it's too much. And it was too much, and look how much it took off. But it didn't take off my makeup. So, I mean, I'm telling you, it was hanging down here. It was way off. And I'm going to tell you how I made that mistake. I made that mistake because I didn't use a liner. You know how I tell y'all I use my liner going up as a guide. And then I probably don't have it in here. I call it my pencil. But then I take one of these type brushes where you can go and kind of like fill in right by the line. Well, I didn't do that this time, and it really messed up. And I was so thankful that Prime Prometics Beauty Water was able to correct it without taking off all my makeup, because I was already made up, but I just decided it was too much. But I was using the Rosewood Natasha Denona palette, and it's a very pretty palette. I started off with this color over here all over my lid, Then I went up to the top and put that up underneath my eyebrow. Then I came back and put this across my lid, more to the inside out. And then I took that dark color and I just took a brush and I decided I'd just try to fill it in without having a line. And that was my mistake. But I still got that shadowed look that gives me that depth. It also gives me that smoky look. And then in the crease, I use this color right here. So that is how I got the look with this as far as the eyeshadows go. Now, and I already told you about the foundation. This is great. It runs $44. I do have a code. It's Miss Jackie Russell, and you save 15% on your order, just in case you're interested, and I'll have my link down in my description. But anyways, let's move along. The next thing that I did is I had some eyeliners that I had gotten from Ipsy, and so I got them out. I actually had to open them up because I had not opened them yet, and I used this purple second, and then I used this color first. And I really don't know what color you call that. It's kind of a purple, but it's Illuminati, and it glided on wonderfully. And I'm not seeing a color on there, but that'll give you an idea. It's kind of a burgundy purple, and then this one is a burgundy purple. And yeah, I do a couple, but you don't have to worry about using more than one liner. It's perfectly fine, and that's what I did. And I would have to say I put the Illuminati on first, and then I went over or under or on top of the other. It's kind of hard to explain, but you can dual line it, and that's what I did. And like I said, you don't have to be afraid to do that. Now I'll show you. I just put that on, and since I got this water here, we'll just take it off real quick. Well, I got to get it wet first, so you can see how easy. Look at that, it's already off. See, it's gone. I mean, that is how good this is. So definitely worth the buy on that. I repurchased this. This was not sent to me. I bought it. And the foundation they did send to me, but I'm liking it, so I'll probably end up buying it. Okay, now, I told you my shadow palette. I told you my liners. My mascara I have on today is one that I also got from Ipsy, and it's Aether Beauty Comeback. And this is really a nice mascara. It did a wonderful job, and I think it really helped my lashes, you know, really good. Now, I do use the Prime Prometics serum for lash growth, in case you want to know that. And of course I also use their mascara, but today I wanted to try something different. I do try to show you guys different, you know, products so that you can see, you know, how they perform. Okay, now I also put on Rare Beauty, and this is in Happy, and I really like this blush. It's kind of a blush and a highlighter all in one, and it's such a pretty pink, and I really like that. And I toned the pink down a little bit with my Estee Lauder Golden Goddess. I just kind of swirl that around. I do under my chin, up here to give me that sun-kissed look, and then a little bit underneath here just to kind of shape my cheekbones just a little more. I do have high cheekbones, so I don't have to work a lot with that, but you know, I do a little. Now on my lips, I used a Natasha Denona Berry, and it is pretty berry color, as you can see. So it matches this Prime Lips Prometics Raspberry pretty good, actually, as you can see. So I use this as my lipstick, of course. And then now that we've done that, let's just clean it off too. Yep, right off. This works really good, and it's really is easy on your eyes. It's made for skin sensitive skin and skin that's over 40. But anybody can use it, so it works really great. I did use my Rodial glass powder, which is like a face powder, a loose powder, to kind of buff out the shine a little bit. I did use that, and I also used my BBB Billion Dollar Brow on my eyebrows, and that's just a neutral color. But also on my lips, besides the lipstick, I use Patrick Ta as my plumper, and this is in Pouty, and I don't want my doe foot to get all this color because I might use it for another, so I'm going to just pat it on. And there's enough on there that I can just rub my lips together and it spreads all over without getting completely all over my doe foot. But anyways, got that on, and then of course when you stick your finger in your mouth and pull it out, you get the leftovers there, so to speak, and it keeps it from getting on your teeth. And I can't take credit for that. I learned that from Mary Catherine Loves Cats. Alright guys, this is this look. You let me know what you think. What do you think about this new foundation? Isn't that fabulous? It goes from white to either fair medium shade, and I think it works great, and I love all these products. The Patrick Ta is a plumper, so it has a mild little sensation of plumping, and I like it. It's pretty good, and of course you already know I like this. So that is my look for today. We're going to move on, and we'll be heading over to the next look. Thank you very much for being with me today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the April looks. And now, on to the next look. Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to the next look. And this is using Natasha Denona, and I have used two of her palettes. I used the Natasha Denona Bronze palette, and then I came back and used the Natasha Denona Face palette. So, what did I start off with? I started off with the Bronze palette. And this is what this one looks like. And I only used two colors in here. I used this color right here in my crease. And I used this color right here on my lid. And you can kind of see that on the top parts of the inside over. And I may have shadowed a dab of the darker color, but not much, because when I went to the Natasha Denona Face palette, I used the blush, and it's got this little cover, so I used the blush and the highlighter, and then I used this pink. It's the highlight of my eyebrow, so I've got that pink across there. I've got this mixed with that other in my crease, and I have this and this kind of mixed underneath the gold that's on top of there. So I used all these colors, except I did not use that hotter pink. So that is how I come up with this look. And you can kind of see where I did with the golds and went over it where the pinks or that. It was kind of a tawny color. This color right here and this color right there. So anyway, something different. I had never put those combinations together. So I thought I would try. Oh, and that dark color in here is in my corners. Right here. It's kind of like a dark purple. She calls it oaky or something, or oinky, I don't know. Anyways, Natasha Denona's is on my eyes. And then I did use that purple liner again. I really like this liner. And it is by, oh, this is a different one. This is the purple liner. And this here is by Dat Gel Eyeliner. It's Orchid, and it's Pinky Bee Beauty. And I really like this. This is a purple. You can use purple instead of black or brown. And it gives you a softer look. And it goes well with a lot of colors. And then I use my new Kosas And this is a cream color, and that's in my inner, my waterline, and a little bit to the insides, here on both sides, just a little up. And that just opens up your eyes. And then we talked about the blush. And then I used the Comeback Aether Beauty mascara. This is working pretty good. So I thought, I'd come back and use it again. And of course you can work with it, and you can lengthen your lashes and all that good stuff. But even with the first application, I think it did well. But then you can see there that it even grew them more. But I think that happens with a lot of the mascaras. So anyways, I like this. So maybe it's called Comeback because maybe they had some kind of setback. But I like this mascara. And oh, for my lips, I used my Anastasia Beverly Hills lip liner. I really like that brown color when I'm doing some of these looks, and it goes on so easy. It just glides on for a pencil, just glides on. And it's not overly dark, but it kind of matches my lip color. Now, it's kind of plumped out right now because I use Charlotte Tilbury, and this here is Pillow Talk, I believe, her original Pillow Talk. And then on top of it, I used her Plump Gasm, and it is the Pillow Talk Big Lip Plump Gasm. And I use that, and this is kind of the same color. It just kind of matches up with it. And it's got kind of a little bit of a pepperminty or minty, peppery, feeling to it or whatever. And then I did use the Rodial facial loose powder. And I don't know if I showed y'all the color of that, but that's Pillow Talk. So when people talk about Pillow Talk, the original, that's the color with Charlotte Tilbury that they're talking about. And I have a liner, but I'm liking that Anastasia Beverly Hills liner. So I used it again, and I did use my Bronze Goddess palette. And this here is just for contouring. And I used the darker colors a little bit underneath my cheeks, a little up here, down my nose, and then underneath my chin. So that was this look, just real fast and quick. And I wanted to share it with you because I kind of mix palettes there, and I don't always do that. Well, anyway, that's my look. Let me know what you think. As far as my foundation, I went and used Estee Lauder today. I can tell a difference in using the other with my Prime Prometics color changing foundation. I think that one actually might be looking or performing better, but I'm going to use up my Estee Lauder, since I have it, because I've got like 4 bottles going. One of them's almost empty. But yeah, I'm going to finish that up because that's expensive. Foundation that I purchased each one of those because they don't usually have those in a box or anything. And I'm not going to buy the new formula because I've heard for mature skin, it's not friendly. So they're still making the formula for a 30 and 40-year-old, which might be great. But I'm going to slowly, go off into this more mature foundation that I've been using with Prime Prometics color changing. So, and if you want to see, anything on that as far as video, I do have a video with Prime Prometics featuring that if you want to see what it looks like and make a comparison. But that's what I have today, and I wanted to share it with you, and mostly I want to share the eye look, and that's it. So you'll have to let me know which look you're liking the best. And now, on to the next look. And this is a more natural look, I suppose. And I use my Charlotte Tilbury, and it's just a small little palette. It's her luxury palette, and it's called the Bella Sophia. And it's just a very small one. I got it in one of my mystery boxes, I believe. And you've just got like a champagne-y color and some gold. And I've kind of got those 3 colors on. I didn't use the real darkest dark. And if I did, it was minimal. And although it might look like it, I didn't. But anyways, that's what I have on my eyes, and I don't even know if it's even, as they say. But that happens sometimes, and I just go with the flow. Now, for my foundation, I use Laura Geller Medium, and this is her baked foundation, and I thought I'd bring it out and show it to you. And then when you get this, you can also get one of her brushes that makes it easy to apply her baked foundations. And I've got the Tawny Bronze on, that's a baked blush and bronze, and that's my blush and my bronzing that's going on. And this is a real pretty color too, and it's real earthy, so I like it. And it's so weird how all those colors, you just swirl that around and then you get that color. So I really like that. I did use a Prime eyeliner, and I used the navy, so I decided to use like a little bit of a blue. It tones it down. It's not as harsh as a black might be, so that's why I did it. And it just glides on, and that's the color. It's hard to even tell that it's navy, but it is. I can tell it. But anyways, I use that. I also use Mario for my highlighter. This is my favorite highlighter. I really like it. I like the way that it puts just the right touch of glow on there. And I dug out one of my old Estee Lauder Extreme mascaras, and this here, even though it's a small size, she gives you the full size applicator in the sample size that comes in many of the bags. When you get a free gift, you'll get this a lot of times in those free gifts. So it works really well. And it's been a while since I used Estee Lauder, so I thought I would put it on today. And as usual, I always seem to have longer lashes on this side. I don't know why. But I guess that just goes to show that our eyes are not even. They're not the same. I don't know. But anyways, I use that. And then for my liner, I used a MAC. And this is in the color Soar. And it's a lip pencil. And it's kind of a, I don't know, like a nude mauve color, sort of. So then I got out my Estee Lauder, and this was a special buy for their like breast cancer specials when they do little packages. And this is the color, and it's kind of a rosy pink, and that's what I have on my lips. And the color is one of their famous colors, Rebellious Rose. So I was right about it being rosy. And then I got out my Buxom, and this is Hot Toddy, and it's one of my favorites. And I just put that on to plump them up. And it's almost the same color, although it looks lighter on here. But it blends well over that lipstick. So that's what I have on today, in addition to using my BB Brow, which is the $1 Billion Brow. And it's universal, and it's the one I always use. And they say it's for everybody, so I don't know. But anyway, it works well for me. I like it because it just glides on. But that's everything that I have in here today for this look. So let me know. It's a little simple, nothing fancy. And it was kind of quick and easy, earthy looking, probably is how I describe it. So anyways, let me know what you think. And hey guys, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you have not, and share me out. I sure would appreciate it. And now on to the next look. Hello everybody, and the way my month has been going in April, this may be the last one. I've been really going more natural this month, but I did put on a safari look today with the eyeshadow palette from BellaPierre Cosmetics, and it is the Safari palette. It's 33 colors, and I used quite a few of them. How are you guys doing? Well, this is how pretty and big this palette is. Uh-oh, I just had some fallout. Did y'all see that? You know why? I accidentally dropped this on the floor and it cracked one of them. That was my fault. It didn't come that way, I promise you. And I have shown it before, but yeah, I have a little crack and a little bit missing now out of this rust color, which, you know, is sad, but I don't use a lot of rust colors, although I do have some on today. And today what I did is I started off with this brown in my corners to give me that cat eye smoky look, and I went into my crease line with it just a little bit, and then I covered my eye with this lighter color right here all over, then went over it with the flat, so I had like a shiny and a flat, and then I used this color right here on my lids toward the, you can kind of see it there, to the 3/4 side over and then over. So I had that on, and then I put this color in my crease, and that's what you can see, a little bit of that darker brown and then some of this in the crease. And then I did use some of this in my crease as well. So I used several colors there, and then I topped it off with some green. And I always go down kind of the center of my eye and over, and that's where that greenish look comes from. You would think it would be a brighter green for as bright as that is. But this is the look that I got from this palette, and you just have to let me know if you like it. When I'm looking at it right now here in the mirror, it seems a little uneven. And it's highly likely I'm just having one of those days where the eyeshadow got out of line over there. Just a little bit. And I do a lot of correcting with Q-tips. So there, that made it a little better. Now what else did I do to get this look? Well, I did start off with my Numi as a foundation. That's my serum and my blue elixir oil. And I used that for my primer. So I have that on. And then I went and got my Prime Prometics new color changing foundation, and I put that on, and then I topped it with some of the debronzing drops so that it'll better match my skin, because this matches my face skin, but the rest of me is a little bronzy like from being out in the sun from time to time, and just my skin tone, you know, on my arm and stuff like that. So I tried to match up my face, and so I thought I would try this over it, and I think it worked out really good. So I have those two things on. On my eyes, I use Prime Lash Mascara, and I use their new Emerald. Since I was using, you know, the green, I thought, well, I'll just use some emerald green mascara. And this lengthens and nourishes your eyelashes. And y'all already know I'm a big fan. And I do have an affiliate link if you're interested. If you're new, it's 15% off your first order, whatever it is you order. And I highly recommend their Prime Lash and their serum. Now, for my eyebrows and for my liner, I have my Nour from Estee Lauder and the cream, and I've got the cream in my waterlines, and I've got Nour in halfway to 3/4 over, and then kind of going up on both sides, and then of course halfway and over. And that's the Nour, and it's kind of like a real deep, kind of dark brown. And then I use the BBB brow pencil, which is my favorite, and that's for my eyebrows. And we recently saw that with Reviews with Sue sent me the BB brow because she knows it's my favorite. So, but this is one I'm working on right now. And then on my lips, I got my Anastasia of Beverly Hills, and this is a lip liner, and it's in brown. It says it's cool brown, and I have found that I actually like this liner a lot. When I first got it from Ipsy, I was like, what? But turns out I actually like it, and it goes great with this Tartan Estee Lauder lipstick. So, you know, it matches it real well. And the number is C33 if you're interested. It's called Tartan Tawny. So, and it was a special edition, so you may not be able to get this color anymore. So I like that. And then I had the Dibs that also Ipsy sent me, which I wasn't too happy with at first, but it turned out to be a good lip gloss. And yeah, just pat that on and then kind of smooth it in. But anyway, that's my look. And I did forget to tell you that I did also use the concealer from Prime Prometics. So that's 3 products I showed you from them that I've been using. I love the color foundation changing. And then this is the Honeycomb Concealer. And I wanted to show you guys that I sharpened it today. And I just want to show you how easy it is. So I was really impressed with the sharpener. And so that worked out great. And then for my loose powder, I used my new LYS. It's that pinky color, so I put that on. I liked it. It worked good. And then my blush was a Fenty blush, and I used the bubble bands. And this is what it looks like. And I really like this one. It's kind of got that real pinky tone, but it doesn't go on just real bad. Oh, one more thing. I used the By Mario, and this is his highlighter, which I absolutely love. So I've got that on my cheeks as well as up on my upper eyebrow. So I really recommend that product too. Anyways, any products that I can find other than my Prime Prometics, because I'll put a link in my description for that so you can save 15%. I will put in my, I guess it's in my description. They let me tag it, and you can check it out for yourself, because most everything I used are products that I really love. So, and if you do use them, let me know, and I'd like to thank you, because I do make a small percentage on that. But this is my look today. I love it, and you let me know what you think. And again, I'm not going to have a bunch of different looks, I don't think, for April. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell, and give me a big old like and a hype. That would be so appreciated. And that's all for this one. So now on to the next one. And welcome to the next look. This here is a Smashbox look with the eyeshadow and the blush and the primer. And I'm sorry my eyes are so dark, but I don't really have much light reflection, because guess what? It's storming in Texas. It's been storming for the last few days off and on. And I have hazel eyes, and when the light is less, my eyes get darker. And when it's bright, they can turn green or bluish green or even goldish looking. So anyways, today when I look in this camera here, I feel like my eyes are brown, like dark brown, and they're really not. But that's how they are today. And I use Smashbox that I got from my Ipsy. And I've got the green on, as you can see. I've got both of them on the lid and on top. I also have some of this goldish brown and this in my crease, and just a tiny bit of this brown. So this was the Smashbox Earthy Vibes. Yeah, that's what I used, and I really like the look. I just thought I would try to give y'all something different for my last look in April. I mentioned that I used the Photo Finish Smashbox as my primer, and this is like a silicone base. See how it's clear? See that? You just put it on and it blurs and primes your skin. It's great. I love it. And I'll try to, plug in some of these products if you're interested. If you do use any of my links down below or in the product list, let me know so I can properly thank you. YouTube is allowing me to do that now, and I have started doing it. So I thank you for your purchases. We make just a small commission, but every little bit helps support our channel, and it doesn't cost you any more. Now this is the Smashbox, and I took it out of the package. Some of this I still had in the box. This is the SBX rated, and it is the Hot Sticks Blush Stick. And my gosh, this does not take much. I'm telling you, I put that on, and it went on. I put too much. I had to really be smoothing it out. But that's my blush that I have on with Smashbox. And back to my eyes, I use this Lemonade purple. It's kind of a purple, I think it's chrome. So I use that halfway over and then up at the top in the middle over to the outer edges. Then I use my Lancome white in my waterline just for a little brightness, and I really like this. It's really good. And then for my mascara, I went and got my Maneater. This is a great mascara. I know I have a lot of different mascaras I use, but I like to show y'all something different. And in this box, you're going to see a lot of different things that I haven't used. I don't know that I've ever shown some of it on this channel. If I have, it's been a while. This was totally new. Now, I did use YSL, her tan face foundation. So that's the foundation that I have on today. You just click it up and it comes up, and I put it on, and yes, I used a brush to smooth it on. So I got that. I wanted to show you that because it is a different foundation, and I did use a different concealer too. I had a little Tarte concealer, and I can't even read which Tarte concealer this is, but I know that's what it is. It's a lovely color. Again, works perfect for me. I like it. It blends in well, and that's what I had to start off with, and it's a great concealer. I also then use my new by Terry loose powder that has the hyaluronic acid in it, and I'm just loving this. It takes off the shine pretty good. I might just add a little more. This has 8 different hyaluronic acids in it, and it's just great. It's supposed to help pull moisture in all day, and I'm really loving this. This is probably going to become one of my favorites, and it only has 2 ingredients. I'm not sure if it tells us on there, but it's silica and hyaluronic acid. That's it. All right. Well, I did use my BBB $1 Billion brow brush that I have, and then I did spray on the new Milani Make It Last finishing spray, and it's really soothing and relaxing. I liked it. And let's see, what else do I have new? Oh, okay. Well, I had a Merit lipstick that I had not even opened yet, so I got it out. And this here is Mason. That is the color, and it's a darker color, but I thought with what I had on today, that would be very pretty. It's a beautiful color. It's kind of a neutral brown. I use my MAC. So see, y'all are seeing all kinds of new product here. No, it's Ofra. I used my Ofra mauve, and that's what this looked like, and it went perfect with that actually. And then something else new that I used was my Too Faced lip gloss, and this is blue snow cone. So it's really tastes good, smells good, and it smells like a blue snow cone. So that's my look. That finished me off, and I used a bunch of new products, so you get a chance to see what it looks like. Let me know what you think about the Smashbox look. I like it. I think it turned out really nice, and I appreciate y'all being here for the month of April for my makeup looks, and I hope you enjoyed them. Be sure and let me know your favorite one, and do you have any favorites of what I just showed you here? What look is the best for me according to you? Which one did you like the best? Which did you like the least? You can comment and tell me all about it down in the comments. If you don't like to talk much in the comments, it would really help even if you'd leave an emoji. So guys, that's my makeup looks for April. I really have fun with this. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know that too, yay or nay. But as for today, that's all I have. I hope you all had a wonderful April and we're springing into May. But for now, as usual, I wish you all a blessed and happy day. Bye-bye.